Oh, Notification Squad, hi, I didn't hear you come in. It's Friday, the week is over, the weekend's here, and it's time once again for YouTuber News. Let's do it. Thanks, mate. Logan Paul did a TV interview and said some strange things. Casey Neistat's Beam has closed down less than 2 years after it was bought by CNN. Have you ever wanted to work for Zoella? Well, now's your chance. Plus, we have a special birthday edition of Filled In. All this plus one lucky person is going to win $10,000 cash, and that one lucky person is no one on this week's edition of YouTuber News, the video news service from WeedUnicorns.com, the website that invented news. Our first story, Logan Paul was interviewed on Good Morning America talking about his now infamous Suicide Forest video and the backlash that followed. Now, he said all kinds of things, some of them reasonable, some of them promising, and some of them just downright strange. For example, he said that he believes that this whole thing, him making the video, the backlash that followed, happened for a reason. He said, quote, "I believe it happened for a reason, and I think that reason is so that I could take this experience, learn from it, and spread the message the right way about suicide prevention." So in other words, he believed that this all sort of happened for a grand reason, which is a nice idea until you remember that this whole thing started when a person in Japan took their own life. So, was that part of the plan? Did the universe require a person to die so that Logan Paul could learn a lesson? This isn't the Christmas Carol, this is the real world. Aside from that, he was on general damage control, as you would expect. He said, of course, "I'm never going to make a video like this again. I've changed. I'm a new man." He said that he was much more conscious of the age of his audience. He said that previously he was making videos for people in his age group. I'm roughly in his age group. Didn't enjoy those videos, but hey, each to their own. He said he's going to be much more conscious now, though, of the many kids who watch his videos and how he might be able to influence them in a negative way. He also said something quite interesting about parents giving their kids free rein to watch his videos and videos in general. He actually said, and I quote, "Parents should be monitoring what their kids are watching more." I have to agree with him here. On the one hand, he shouldn't have put that video up. And it's crazy that so many kids saw that video. But at the same time, if you have a kid who's like 7 years old and you're just giving them free reign of YouTube, that is not wise. There is some messed up stuff on YouTube. I mean, those weird kids videos alone, the ones that have like 1 billion views and the video is like Spider-Man punching Elsa from Frozen with a hammer. YouTube is a very strange place, except for YouTuber News, which is of course pure and good and loved by all, or at least some. There was also a strange part where he used the phrase, "crisis passes." He said, "I tell people crisis passes," and it seemed at first that he was sort of referring to his new efforts around suicide prevention, saying to people, "Don't worry, crisis passes," but then he immediately referred to himself. He was saying, for example, "Look at me, I was, quote, hated by the whole world." He was talking about how this was the hardest time in his whole life. So, bit of a strange moment where he seems to sort of be equating people who are struggling with suicide with his own suffering from experiencing backlash from a video where he made light of suicide. I mean, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but it was a very strange moment. But at the end of the day, I think he had good intentions going into this interview. I like to believe that he wants to do better in future. But this does all fit with my theory that I said in YouTuber News not 3-4 weeks ago, that nothing would change and that he would experience basically no punishment and life would go on exactly the same. And that is exactly what's happened. There are no consequences in 2018. He will just continue to be successful. But hey, maybe he won't make another Suicide Forest video, so I guess that's progress. But at the end of the day, I think his intentions were good with this interview. We'll have to wait and see if he does good on his promise to be a better person. I will note that, of course, there was the Suicide Forest video that was controversial, but there was also just those videos of him in Japan being very disrespectful to Japanese people, and those videos are still on his channel. They have not been taken down, and he has just not addressed that at all. So I guess he's learned the lesson that filming dead bodies is bad. The lesson of being quite racist, not quite been learned yet, but maybe he'll talk about that in his next interview. Our second story, Casey Neistat's news company Beam has been dissolved less than 2 years after it was bought by CNN for $25 million. Also known as my weekly fee for doing this show. I'm just kidding. I get paid a lot more than that. Beam started life as a simple video app, kind of like Vine, and somehow evolved into a breakthrough news service. It was then bought by CNN, but sadly did not live up to its targets. The company itself has now ceased to exist as an independent entity. All the staff and all of its projects have been absorbed into CNN. So in a way, it's not dead. I mean, their work is sort of continuing, but the existence of Beam itself is no more, and Casey himself has left Beam. Casey broke the news to his audience in a short vlog, and he seemed quite down about it, but at the end of the day, he's an experimental guy, and not all experiments work. And also, he got $25 million out of this, so he's laughing all the way to the bank. Siri, launch nuclear missile. Siri, enter nuclear missile launch codes. Siri, engage, fire missile. See Keemstar try and deal with that. Our third story. Have you ever wanted to work for Zoe Sugg? Well, now you can. Zoe Sugg, who is also known by the name Zoella, Bruises Mackenzie, The Human Knife, Tyrannosaurus Flex, Riptide, Aces, The Deadliest Woman in Venezuela, and Alfie Days, is looking for 2 people to join her company, organization, house, whatever it is she does. Zoe is looking for a social media manager to run all her social media channels and a photographer. Now, an interesting thing hidden away in this job application is this line. Her social media manager will take part in, I quote, the launch of new channels over time. Now, what exactly does this mean? Does this mean YouTube channels? Does it mean new merch lines? Well, I don't know, but pretty exciting nonetheless that Zoe is going to be doing some new stuff. Not exciting like, you know, we've discovered aliens exciting. You know, exciting like, oh, pretty good. Oh, okay. Oh. If you think you've got what it takes, we'll put a link to the application form in the description below, and you can head over there and perhaps work with Zoe one-on-one. This might be a good time to mention that I myself am also hiring. I need an intern to make sure there's always fresh flowers in my dressing room, and a personal bodyguard who can dismantle my various enemies. Looking at you, Lean Machines. You know what you did. Well, those were... Oh, what's this? Oh, sorry, I'm getting a FaceTime call, one sec. Hello? Ah, Barack Obama. How you doing? How you doing, mate? I'm good, I'm really good. Sorry, I'm right in the middle of doing YouTube news. I know you're a fan. Could we maybe talk later? Because we just talked yesterday, so it can't be that urgent. We are best friends, so we talk all the time, obviously. Okay. I know you've got a lot of time in your hands now, but you're gonna have to get some hobbies or something, because some of us have jobs. Okay, so, all right, I gotta go, man. Okay. So needy. Well, those are our stories for the day, and you know what that means. It's time for Filled In, Birthday Edition. Hi, welcome to Filled In, I'm Dan Howell. What's Phil been up? God damn it, who is calling me? Hello? Oh, Kim Jong-un. Mate, I'm doing Filled In. I know it was his birthday. I'll wish him happy birthday for you. Can I get back to the... Kim? What have we spoken about? I need my own time sometimes. Okay, bye. Anyway, what's Phil been up to this week? Well, of course, it was his 31st birthday, and he celebrated it in style by buying a hotel in Monopoly. He was playing Monopoly with Dan. And then they went and bought a real hotel in Las Vegas. It's called the Fill Inn, which is not a pun. Filled in is a pun. The Fill Inn, I guess it kind of works as a pun, like fill in a form or something. I said to him, if you're going to spend billions, I mean with a B, billions, buying this luxury hotel, you don't want to give it a better name. I didn't have any to hand, but I said to him, but you know what he's like, he doesn't, you know, I'm the birthday boy, I don't want to listen. I mean, hey, look, he's my best friend. I love the guy, but you know, sometimes the communication is spotty. But anyway, I shouldn't speak ill of the birthday boy. He had a great week. I got him a Rolex for his birthday. He loved it. He was like, "Oh, my favorite Rolex." He did mention he would never wear the Rolex in videos because of reasons. So if you're expecting to see it, you'll never be able to see it. He said it's too important because it reminds him of our friendship. So he's going to hide it under his bed, and you'll never see any evidence that it exists, but it does exist. This has been Filled In. Great episode. Really rambling. They're my favorite ones. Well, oh, what's that I can hear? Huh. The sound of Tide Pod's Health and Safety Department having a small breakdown reminds me that it's time for our Question of the Week. This week's Question of the Week is a serious one. Do you believe that Logan Paul has done enough to apologise for his various nonsense? Do you believe he should be given a second chance? Let me know in the comments down below. I do read them. I do enjoy them. And perhaps we'll pick out a few highlighted ones to feature on next week's episode. I'm Benedict Townsend. This has been YouTuber News, which airs every Friday on the We the Unicorns. Oh, damn it. Hi, who is it? Oh, Phil. Phil Lester, how you doing? I'm good. I've got time. No, I'm not busy. Yeah, you've heard about Filled In. You're not a fan. That's fine. It's not for everyone. You know, I don't know anyone watches this. You want me to stop? I can't do that, can I? Because it's part of the show. So, talk to Dan. Dan loves Dan Howwatch. He watches it every week. But there's a problem with YouTube's algorithm where it doesn't record the watch, but he does watch it every week. Okay. Your sound's cutting out, mate. I can't hear you. I think you're saying keep going? Okay, I gotta go. Okay. I'm Benedict Townsend. This has been YouTuber News, which airs every Friday on the With the Unicorns YouTube channel, Facebook page, Twitter page, all the pages. Don't forget the best way to get YouTuber News is to watch it on YouTube, where it is delivered first. And the very first of the first way to get it is to hit subscribe so you get the video delivered right into your sub box. I'm off now for my weekend. I'll see you next week. But before I go, remember, a Tide Pod would never eat you. So the least you can do is show it the same respect. You know, just see you next week.